Starting with breaking updates coming in, Defence Minister Rajnath Singh has firmly laid out India's strategic priorities at the SCO Defence Ministers meeting, with terror and peace at the core of India's message. Rajnath Singh underlined zero tolerance on terrorism and push for enhanced cooperation on regional security. India has also called for greater collaboration among the SCO nations to ensure lasting stability and peace in the region. My colleague Rishabh is joining us on the broadcast with the details. Rishabh, the Pakistani Defence Minister is also in attendance, and Rajnath Singh has called out Pakistan for the cross-border terror.
Well, definitely, Rajnath Singh, the Defence Minister, who is in China to attend the SCO Defence Minister Summit, has very categorically said that the biggest issue that the region is facing is the cross-border terrorism. And on the face of it, in the presence of Pakistani Defence Minister, Indian Defence Minister has very categorically said that what is being done from Islamabad is not something that the region will, approve of, or for the regional stability, the cross-border terrorism needs to stop. With Operation Sindoor in mind, India has very categorically retaliated at a regional forum, where you have China, where you have Russia, where you have the whole of Central Asia, Belarus as well. That what Pakistan is doing is something that needs to be called out, be condemned, and acted upon.
Okay, so Rishabh, just a moment. Let's play out that message of the Defence Minister. This is the Raksha Mantri calling out, naming and shaming Pakistan at the SCO summit.
It is imperative that those who sponsor, nurture and utilize terrorism for their narrow and selfish ends must bear the consequences. Some countries use cross-border terrorism as an instrument of policy and provide shelter to terrorists. There should be no place for such double standards. SCO should not hesitate to criticize such nations. India's zero tolerance for terrorism is manifest today through its actions. This includes our right to defend ourselves against terrorism. And we have shown that epicenters of terrorism are no longer safe, and we will not hesitate to target them.
Ambassador KP Fabian also joins us on the broadcast. And Ambassador, the Raksha Mantri has called out Pakistan and has said that counter-terrorism is the need of the hour, saying cross-border terrorism seems to have become a matter of policy for Pakistan.
Well, thank you. Let me put it this way. It is a matter of fact that Pakistan has included export of terrorism as part of its foreign policy, especially towards India. And as far as we know, India is the only country to which Pakistan has been exporting terrorism. However, the international community has been rather slow in taking note of it, and therefore it is necessary for India to bring it up at every forum relevant and to drive home the point. And let us hope that the international community will understand the situation a little faster and take the necessary action.
Okay, in fact, Rajnath Singh also invoked Pahalgam and spoke about Operation Sindoor as well. Let's listen in to what he said.
Pattern of the Pahalgam terror attack matches with LET's previous terror attacks in India. In exercising its right to defend against terrorism and preempt as well as deter further cross-border terrorist attacks, India on 7th May 2025 successfully launched Operation Sindoor to dismantle cross-border terrorist infrastructure. We reiterate the need to hold the perpetrators, organizers, financiers and sponsors of reprehensible acts of terrorism, including cross-border terrorism, accountable and bring them to justice. Any acts of terrorism are criminal and unjustifiable regardless of their motivation whenever, wherever, and by whomsoever committed. SCO members must condemn this evil unequivocally. Excellency, India is committed to increasing its connectivity with the Central Asia. Better connectivity not only enhances mutual trade but also fosters mutual trust. However, in these efforts, it is essential to uphold the basic principles of the SCO Charter, particularly respecting the sovereignty and the traditional integrity of member states. India has been consistent and steadfast in its policy in support of peace, security and stability in Afghanistan. Our immediate priorities in Afghanistan include providing humanitarian assistance to Afghan people and contributing to Afghanistan's overall developmental needs. As Afghanistan's largest regional development partner, India continues to...
My colleague Rishabh continues to stay live with us. And Rishabh, tell us why this is significant, because there has been a diplomatic outreach on part of India to call out Pakistan. This is at the SCO summit, the Pakistan Defence Minister in attendance. But India has made it clear that peace, prosperity cannot go hand in hand with terror.
Well, first thing first, it is the first time that you have an Indian Defence Minister and Pakistani Defence Minister on the same platform post-Pahalgam, post-Operation Sindoor. It is the first time that India is speaking at a multilateral forum where you have China and Russia both present, and the backyard of Russia, the whole of Central Asia also present, which means that the neighboring countries of Pakistan, neighboring countries of India, as well as the regional powers of Asia are present. And on that platform, India calling out Pakistan on terrorism is something that is very, very significant. China has been an all-weather ally of Pakistan. We have seen that come what may, China stands by Pakistan. This time around, we have seen condemnation coming in from China. We have seen that when the Operation Sindoor happened, yes, there were logistical support given that there are defense agreements between Pakistan and China. But there wasn't any condemnation against India for conducting strikes in Pakistan. And, the only statement that came in was a ceasefire that happened between India and Pakistan that was welcomed by Beijing. So, India do understand that in SCO, India wants to use this platform, A, to clarify its own position, B, to unmask Pakistan, that there is no state and non-state actors in Islamabad. It's all Pakistan, and Pakistan unanimously does what it does in India, the cross-border terrorism, and what happened in Pahalgam needs to be condemned, acted upon and considered as one of the most heinous crimes against humanity in the region. Apart from that, if I may just add, also when Raksha Mantri is in China, one thing is very, very important, and that is that, there could be a conflict between Russia and Ukraine. There could be conflict between Israel and Iran. Iran also happens to be part of SCO. But here, India wants to ensure that the focus is on South Asia, focus is on India and Pakistan.
Yes.
And Pakistan remains the talk of the town to ensure that everyone knows what misdeeds, misadventures Pakistan is doing.
In fact, Rajnath Singh has also gone on to say that the SCO members should call out Pakistan. He had a very strong message in naming and shaming Pakistan. Let's listen in to what he said.
It is imperative that those who sponsor, nurture and utilize terrorism for their narrow and selfish ends must bear the consequences. Some countries use cross-border terrorism as an instrument of policy and provide shelter to terrorists. There should be no place for such double standards. SCO should not hesitate to criticize such nations. It is imperative that those who sponsor, nurture and utilize terrorism for their narrow and selfish ends must bear the consequences. Some countries use cross-border terrorism as an instrument of policy and provide shelter to terrorists. There should be no place for such double standards. SCO should not hesitate to criticize such nations. It is imperative that those who sponsor, nurture and utilize terrorism for their narrow and selfish ends must bear the consequences. Some countries use cross-border terrorism as an instrument of policy and provide shelter to terrorists. There should be no place for such double standards. SCO should not hesitate to criticize such nations. It is imperative that those who sponsor, nurture and utilize terrorism for their narrow and selfish ends must bear the consequences. Some countries use cross-border terrorism as an instrument of policy.
So Pakistan is using cross-border terror as an instrument of policy. That's a statement by Rajnath Singh. Consulting editor Srinjoy Chaudhary is also on the broadcast with us. And Srinjoy, Rajnath Singh has used the SCO summit as a platform to expose Pakistan. He invoked Pahalgam and India's Operation Sindoor.
This has been a consistent aspect of Indian foreign policy. Because even Ajit Doval, who spoke a few days ago at the SCO function, mentioned that cross-border terrorism was a crime against humanity. This was before the national security advisors of all SCO countries, including Russia, China, Pakistan, and so on. And today, Rajnath Singh has said exactly that same point, that cross-border terrorism is being used by Pakistan as an instrument of foreign policy. So this is a clear message that is going out to SCO countries. And very importantly, right after this, right after lunch in Beijing, the Defense Minister of India will have a conversation with the Defense Minister of China and the Defense Minister of Russia, and also several other countries, but pointedly not of Pakistan.
Okay.
The point that is being made here is that, again, India will speak to China, Russia, and other countries about terrorism, about Operation Sindoor, and mention very clearly that Operation Sindoor was an effort to curb terrorism.
Yes,
India,
and it targeted the terror hubs within Pakistan. That's what India has made clear. Just a moment, we have another reaction coming in of Rajnath Singh. This is from the statement that he made at the SCO summit.
Manifestations. On 22nd April 2025, the terror group, the Resistance Front, carried out a dastardly and a heinous attack on the innocent tourists in Pahalgam, in the Indian state of the Jammu and Kashmir. 26 innocent civilians, including a Nepali national, were killed. Victims were shot after they were profiled based on the religious identity. The Resistance Front, which is a proxy of UN-designated terror group Lashkar-e-Toiba, claimed responsibility for the attack. The pattern of the Pahalgam terror attack matches with LET's previous terror attacks in India. In exercising its right to defend against terrorism and preempt as well as deter further cross-border terrorist attacks, India on 7th May 2025 successfully launched Operation Sindoor to...
All right, with that, let's shift our attention now to more breaking updates coming in. India has slammed Pakistan at the United Nations